I'm Noah B. Taylor. I play Bruno on Wednesday season 2, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. I'm so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today I'm talking to Noah B. Taylor, who plays Bruno in Wednesday Season 2. Noah, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to talk about the show. But to start things off, I wanted to ask you, what was kind of your relationship with the world of the Addams family coming into this series in general?
I was aware of it. Obviously, I mean, season 1 was such a big hit. But I wasn't like a super fan or anything growing up. But then when the audition came through, I was like, oh man, I gotta like study up. And so I rewatched season 1, and I actually I did when I did the audition scene. I kind of did some guesswork, some detective work, and even though there were code names, I figured that my scene was with Emma's character. And I was like, well, in season 1, Georgie has a lot of scenes with her, and I kind of studied him for a while. I just watched his performance and tried to see like what he was doing and maybe what I could do different, so I wasn't like, copying him. So yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you too to follow up with that, kind of what obviously the first season came out, became this huge phenomena. Now we're back for season two. Yeah, could you talk a little bit about what your audition process was like and what that kind of looked like, how you got involved with the series?
Yeah, I was in Glasgow at the time at acting school, and I got the audition through my agent, and I did an initial self-tape, which I think I must have done like 45 takes for, because I was so, I really wanted to put my best foot forward. And then I let it go. I submitted it. I thought I'm never going to hear back from this. And then I got a call back and then another call back, and I did the chem read with Emma, and yeah, I booked it. So it was awesome.
And that's it. And so how does Bruno fit in with the Wolf Pack here at Nevermore Academy?
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of like the new wolf on campus. He's definitely got a certain air of confidence to him that he carries around. And you'll get to see him sort of develop interesting relationships with each of the characters. So I'm excited for that.
And how did you want to approach your portrayal of a werewolf? Obviously, we've had a number of different portrayals of werewolves over the years. So, how did you kind of want to approach that? Was there any kind of particular references that you looked at to inform your performance?
Yeah, actually. It was good timing because when I booked the role, I was still in acting school and we are doing animal movement studies and movement class.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that was like perfect timing. But there's an exercise you do where you if you have imagine like dials, right? And it's like 100% human and 100% animal. And so you would start like pretending to be a bear and moving with the physicality of a bear. So, whatever that entails. And then you slowly bring back the dial until you're maybe 5% bear and 95% human. And I think carrying like the weight and confidence and power that you would have if you were a werewolf, but still, being a human, so you're not like moving crazy or anything like that. I think that was important for me. And sorry, as far as references, I think I've said this before in other interviews, but Masatoshi Nagase from his performance in Mystery Train with Steve Buscemi's in that. He's great, but he's just so cool in that, and I loved that performance as a kid, and I always thought like that was the coolest guy ever. And so getting to play sort of a cool character, I rewatched that and was trying to channel some.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of werewolves in general, just like werewolf films. I mean, growing up with the original Werewolf, the Universal classic monster, American Werewolf in London, Ginger Snaps, all throughout the years. Did you look at any of those kind of films as well, or was it just kind of those ones that you had mentioned?
Not really. I was sort of trying to approach it more from like a human standpoint, I think. Just with
Yeah.
like an added physicality.
Yeah, where we see you guys more often human than actually like the werewolves, I feel like for a lot of it. We see Bruno and Enid getting pretty close with each other. I know there's this specific scene where we see you playing the guitar, standing sitting next to each other. So can you
Yeah.
just talk a little bit about working with Emma and kind of developing that relationship and dynamic between your characters?
Yeah, I mean Emma is incredible to work with. She's so professional and she like really makes she made my job very easy. She gives so much when she's acting that all you really have to do, or all I felt I had to do, was just sort of receive, and then it just reflect back. It reflects back. She brings so much to the scenes, and she was a pleasure to work with. She's hilarious. It was a great time. Yeah.
I'm sure it must have been obviously coming on to a series too. This is season two, so you've already had the cast. They've been working together, kind of like a well-oiled machine. How was everyone just as far as like welcoming some of the newbies onto the cast for the season?
Oh, they were so awesome. Like I remember coming in and I was a little nervous about it because I was like, oh, they're all kind of already friends and I'm the new guy. But just from the go, everybody was just kind of like welcome aboard and we all hung out the whole time and it was insane. I made some really great friends. So,
Yeah, I love to hear that. I mean, they all seem like, great people. And uh, Enid being Wednesday's best friend, how does the introduction of Bruno affect that relationship at all?
I guess we'll have to wait and see because there's some fun stuff in there. But I will say, Wednesday is obviously very picky with what he likes, so keep that in mind. But
Yeah,
yeah.
what was it like just like in general, I guess, just to kind of work with Jenna as well?
Oh, I mean, yeah, Jenna, like she's incredible. She's the best. She's so like I don't even know. She's a force of nature. Like she's just my first day on set, it was like Tim was there, Jenna was there, and Emma was there. And I was fresh out of like 2 semesters in acting school. And I was freaking out inside. Like there's a take. I don't know if they used it, but I was just getting really hot because I was nervous and I think I started blushing and I was like beet red. And I went up to Emma afterwards and I was like, was I blushing in that? And she was like, yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad.
That's funny. That's awesome. But I mean, I know exactly what you mean. No, I got to work on Beetlejuice a couple years ago, and got to work. There was like a scene where I was sitting right in front of the coffee shop, which was like the Maitland store in the first film, and Jenna rides by on her bike. She ended up stopping, and then she like waved to us extras, and then Tim comes over and they start talking, and she had said something like, "Oh, isn't that the Maitland store from the first film?" So yeah, it was a pretty wild experience. So I can relate to what you were saying, just being there and being like, okay, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it's very surreal for sure.
And as far as speaking of Tim Burton too, can you just talk about stepping into the world of Tim Burton? Because
Yeah.
I imagine that must have been pretty insane. I'm a big fan of his work. And what did you kind of just learn from the experience overall?
I learned a lot. I came into it, I think, expecting more. Well, I don't know. I was just again, I was in acting school and there's a lot of feedback constantly, when you're in classes and professors saying, do this a little better, you could change this up, do this. And I think it was just a shift of like, Tim just if there's a lot of trust that we're there to do what we're supposed to do and he's there to do what he needs to do. And I think sort of being able to trust myself was like a big learning experience. Like, okay, he's trusting me. You gotta like trust that if there's no notes that you did what you had to do. And so just sort of letting go a little bit and just letting whatever happens happen, I think was a big learning. Like not feeling so like I had to lock in the perfect thing every time and just because sometimes what you don't plan for is the best.
Yeah,
So
some of the best things that kind of just happen by accident sometimes. And yes, were you a fan of Tim's kind of coming into this like previously? And maybe what were some of your favorite projects of his?
I mean obviously like Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, like I loved that growing up. And then I think one of the first movies that I remember seeing in theaters was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I watched
Oh,
that in theaters when I was a kid, and I remember that being like I just hadn't seen anything like that, and that just like blew my mind. So yeah, no, it was a dream come true. It's
yeah.
amazing.
As far as stepping into his world, did you kind of have like any preconceived notions of like what that would look like for you? And did actually being on the sets, was it completely different or was it kind of what you thought it would be like?
I think I tried to not like I don't know, I tried not to shift my performance to be anything that I thought it was supposed to be, I guess. I just sort of like whatever I did in the audition, I was thinking obviously that worked and I'm here now. And so I think just trusting that they had seen something in what I did or me or my performance that was working. And so just stick with that. And then if there's a redirect, then there'll be a redirect. But yeah, no, I tried to think of it as an independent experience and character. Because each project is different, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure. And speaking of characters, I feel like obviously we have all you guys in the series, but Nevermore Academy is almost its own character in itself. So can you just talk about maybe like what were some of your favorite locations that you can speak about as far as shooting at the school?
Yeah, I mean the sets were crazy. Like they just blew my mind every time. The Wednesday and Enid's room, like with the glass,
Oh
it's so
yeah,
awesome. It's so cool. And it's just, straight down the middle. You got color and it's such a cool visual. Like, yeah, it's awesome. And that's all like, in camera. Like that's there. It's so cool.
practical
And
sets.
yeah, practical. So there was so many amazing practical sets. I don't know how many I can talk about, but it's gonna blow your mind. I mean, I was floored. So
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I can't wait and obviously can't wait for everyone else to get to check it out. Love the first season, and this is more of a, I guess, like a personal question. So for you as Noah, who out
hmm.
of everyone at Nevermore Academy would Noah get along with best, and why do you think that is?
Well, that's a good question. As a Noah, what Nevermore character? I want to say Ajax. I want to say Ajax.
Yeah,
Um, I think. Well, maybe I'm just biased because I love Georgie, so maybe I'm just conflating the two. That's the right word, conflate, whatever. Um, Yeah, I mean, it's just I love that guy. I love him. He's the best. He's
and why do
amazing.
you think that you guys would get along as far as like you and like him as his character?
Uh, I think that we would have a good like dynamic and a balance. Or we have a lot of similarities. I think Ajax might be a little anxious. He's a little neurotic sometimes, and I can get like that. But then I think he's also got some confidence, and I think we'd sort of when he had good days, I would have when I was having a bad day, he have a good day. When I have a good day, he'd have a bad day. Even each other
Kind of
out.
balance each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Noah, what are again like what you can speak on, but what are some of your favorite memories from working on Wednesday season two? Because I'm sure there's probably a lot of them in there and
Yeah.
that you can share, I guess, in general.
I think, I mean, anytime we had to shoot like a sort of a big group scene with like most of the younger cast members, those days were just so fun. Because even like, in some of those scenes I don't have like a bunch to do or a lot to say. And so I would just get to hang out with my friends all day and be on Wednesday season 2 with Tim Burton. Like it's just a dream. But my one of my favorite memories of that is one of the first scenes I had to shoot with Georgie. We have to give each other sort of this like look which has a little animosity in it. And Georgie and I had already been hanging out a little bit, and I was having what I realized that we were shooting that the night before. We were like rehearsing it, and I could not keep a straight face. He would just start going. He would just start laughing, and I was freaking out because it was early on in the shoot, and I was like, I can't. That's so unprofessional. I can't laugh. 2 weeks into shooting, I can't break. And so like I was staying up all night just trying to be like, okay, like gotta take this seriously. And we did it. And I think I saw him start to break a little bit, but I beat my cheek really, really hard. And I stayed strong. But yeah, that happened a couple times. I mean, I still, yeah,
You
he's,
gotta hate that though when like I remember being in school and just like one of your friends would start laughing or make a
yeah,
joke kind of under their breath and no one else hears it, but you do and you can see them laughing and you're just trying not to break. So yeah, I feel that can be that can be a pain. And I guess just to kind of wrap things up, well, first, as far as what can fans expect with season two, and is there anything that you can kind of tease about the season?
yeah. I mean, I just think like there's so much going on in this season. Like the scope, I would say is definitely, I think, increased since season 1. I think the world is expanding and being more populated. Um, And I think they're going to continue to touch on that sort of universal theme or feeling of like being an outcast, which obviously is season one, but we dive more into that. And there's some interesting dynamics with Wednesday and her mother and just sort of family that I think will be really cool to see.
I
So,
can't wait to see that. And I love personally, I love the way that they're splitting this up for Netflix. I know some people it's like you want to just sit down and watch the whole thing in one go. I mean, that's it's always fun to binge, but I love that we're getting it split up so that way you can kind of enjoy, sit down, watch part one, enjoy that, talk about it, have discussions with fans, sit down and watch part two. So I'm excited that we kind of get to sit with it for a little bit longer period of time this go around. And is there anything else that you would like to say about working on the show to the fans and where can they stay up to date with you moving forward?
yeah, I'm just so grateful to, have this experience, and it's so exciting. If I, like this is an amazing start of my career, sort of, and it's just awesome. I'm still like pinching myself. And yeah, I guess I'm on Instagram, and I am releasing an album at the
Wow,
end, August 18, I think. So yeah, if you
perfect
like
timing.
alternative rock music, check that out. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I'll make sure to put your the link down below in the description for your Instagram so people can give you a follow. Well, Noah, I want to say congratulations on the series. I hope you're ready for everything that's coming your way because I'm sure in the next few weeks your Instagram and stuff's going to be blowing up. But yeah, congratulations. Can't wait for everyone to check this out and you're welcome back anytime in the future, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm Noah B. Taylor. I play Bruno on Wednesday season 2, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.